5 months ago now, since I gave my life to Jesus. All throughout my life, I was never brought up religious at all. My mum would say that I wasn't Christian because she wanted to give me a choice, although there was a bit of mockery there. I think she'd had bad experiences with Christians and not feeling helped and judged by them, etc. And a few kind of, now I see it as comical run-ins with taking the communion at a higher church, and they weren't too happy about that. But so for pretty much all of my life I was an atheist until the 6th of March 2020. Now, I've grown up with abuse. My father was a very evil man. He beat us to a pulp. We had to escape from him through, you know, the most strict secret thing. Anyway. But so I've lived all my life sort of suffering with mental health illnesses, through my whole family basically. And in March 2020, the 6th of March, I was given a spiritual experience that I didn't see coming. One night, I was looking after a friend of mine who had schizophrenia, and she came to my flat. It was a really scary situation. She was going for the night. She was like, I didn't know what to do. I was on my own, and I just sat in my room. Then all of a sudden, to be honest with you, I don't know if it was God that we worship that was speaking to me, but all I know is that I knew that there was something more there. So from then, I really got into the New Age, I'll say religion because I think it is a religion. It's a new religion that a lot of celebrities, it's all in the media now. Everyone's getting their crystals, their tarot cards, they're praying to angels. And angels are real, but you know, you pray to Jesus, you pray the angels, they serve God. They don't want to be worshipped. That's not the angels of heaven that he's speaking to. And along those years, I was seeing signs, wonders, amazing things. You know, from these psychics, I'd go onto Instagram, I'd see things, people would say things to me. I'd go onto Instagram, there'd be psychics posting up messages. But, you know, Satan can do signs and wonders, and all I know is by the fruits that I was getting more and more unwell. You know, I kept being promised, you're going to be rich, you're going to be a celebrity, you're going to be this and that. You know, I kept getting it in my brain, in my, you know, in all the signs I was seeing that I was being, but I was getting nowhere. I realised after I looked around me, something was convicting me. I thought, this isn't right. I'm living for myself. What good am I doing? It's all about, I keep being told, if I heal this thing, if I work on this thing, if I clear this bit of energy, then I'll be healed, then I'll be able to help people. But what is happening? I just thought this can't be right. And all of a sudden I started to get really unwell. The minute I started to doubt these wonderful light angels, I began to get so mentally sick that I ended up relapsing, and I ended up in hospital. Now, in my algorithm, there would be no Bible allowed, I never listened to any of that, but when I was on that hospital bed, the Bible kept coming out. Every time I'd open my eyes and I'd have a fear and have a doubt, there was a passage there that was speaking directly to my soul. Then next, the woman, I was in the middle of a drunken psychosis at this point, but the woman who is my sponsor now, Una, is a Christian lady, and she served me, and it all stopped when she came and she told me, Cheryl, it's okay, I've been where you are once. And from then, Jesus would not leave me alone. All of a sudden, on my Instagram, I had strangers coming up praying over me. I relapsed a couple of times within those last few weeks, but every time I did more, Jesus was just coming to me. The final time was I ended up in a guy's flat back in Southend where God had just moved me from. I just prayed to God to move from there, and I ended up back there, and this time I'd relapsed on drugs too. But guess what? All night, the guy and I just ended up speaking about Jesus. And the week before, and saying how we didn't want this anymore, we didn't want to do it again. And bearing in mind, I've never read the Bible all that week. All I'd had in my head, I didn't know who Job was. Job. I just kept saying, read Job, read Job, read Job. So then the guy on this last night that I drank and took drugs, took out his Bible, and I said, okay then God, if you're real, Jesus show me. God, please show me what I need to see in the Bible. And I opened it up, and guess what it was? A verse 17 job talking about bellies full of wine and all that. I was too gone to read it, but I read it afterwards. And that was it then. I was like, but normally if I'd come down from that stuff, I wouldn't be able to make that journey back. But I was like, God, please make the withdrawals as least as possible, and I will give myself to you. And guess what? I sat for 4 hours and I woke up feeling so alive, and I've never looked back since. Amen. So look what Jesus can do. I'm coming up 5 months sober now. God helped me out the right church here. I started going to church a couple of weeks. I thought I'll keep on going until I find the right one, and then lo and behold, all of the kind of like just this style of worship that I'd seen online, you know, kind of the same beliefs, brought me to Pastor Marvin, and I found my family here, and I'm not going back.